scratches on my skin. Red door at the end of the hall. Was that shadow always that thin? Dust dancing where the light bends. Every corner looks back at me through the horror lens. Through the horror lens, every hallway bends. All the quiet things grow teeth in my head, blinking it all distorts. Safe turns to suspense. Nothing's what it was through the horror lens.
Hello, hello. Wakey, wakey. Welcome to All Things Final Girl. How are you doing there?
I'm all right. I am all right. And welcome all.
Definitely. Welcome to all my lovely darlings. And we're going to share with you everything Final Girl. Basically, it's like you're the survivor. It's like all kinds of merchandise that you can think of. It's a movement. It's where you're surviving the night, and it's intertwined with clothing and all kinds of fashionable goodness.
And most importantly, helping for the survival of indie horror as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
See, much like in an actual horror film, indie horror as a whole is constantly under prowl by the mainstream. So with movements like Final Girl, indie horror has its time to be, well, its own survivor.
To survive, to move on, to live, if you will. And you just recently became a Final Girl, didn't you?
I did, and I had the glow line. I was introduced upon the glow line. For there are several variants of Final Girl merchandise. There is the original, there is the glow line, which again I was introduced upon. There's the royalty line. Yes, there it is. I gotta say, I love that design. Just half Ghost Rider like that. I love it. 14-year-old me would be so proud.
Oh, and there's the royalty one with Queen Psychotica. That's me. And if you use our codes, Corpse or Chrissy, you get a 5% discount at checkout.
And that's upon anything, not just the clothing or any of the merchandise.
I mean, you've got shirts, you've got sweatshirts, you've got mugs, you've got the new teddy bears.
Ball caps. And I think possibly even sweatshirts.
Yep, I did see those sweatshirts. I saw quite a few of those new ones. They were actually quite nice. And also, if you're looking to join us, which we would love to have more of you, to rep our Final Girl, be a Final Girl, be a part of a little bit of everything. I mean, you could be a part of, some of the behind the scenes movie making, contribute to it. We would love to have you with us. And when you share your merch with your code, like mine, Chrissy, or Corpse over here, you get that 5% discount, and you earn commission off of that as well.
As well as all of this is also a great way for unknown names and talents to get their foot in the door if they're looking to break out into horror filmmaking or acting, and or just being a part of that world. This is a great way to be able to break out into it.
Oh, definitely.
It's how I was able to sort of get my foot in the door in a
Mhm.
bigger, broader aspect and meet a whole lot of new connections that
Yes.
can prove invaluable in more than one aspect as well.
Mhm. Right.
Um, and again, it the best thing about Final Girl and many other parts of Forever Entertainment's brand and as a whole is that one does not need to be super popular in any aspect to
Mm-mm.
be able to pull this off or to
Mm-mm.
be able to join. You just have to have a willingness to actually join.
Join in, and you're going to network. And I don't care if you're a novelist or if you're a entertainer, a cosplayer, or if you're a model, or even if you just create things that all things horror. You could be a vendor that's creating potions or cups or t-shirts, or maybe you're an artist and you actually do paintings. This is a great venue to put like I said, network, and it just helps elevate you as a person, what you do, and you meet so many cool people on top of it that have the same like-minded love of horror.
Not to mention, and again, I cannot stress this enough. It doesn't matter how
Mm-mm.
popular you are. It
Nope.
doesn't matter if you have one follower or 1 million followers anywhere,
Or if you're an introvert or an extrovert.
or if you're living or dead. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Yes, we have to ixnay on that word there, sir. So we have to
Oh
behave
yes,
ourselves. Remember the
living
rules.
or deceased.
Okay,
There,
okay.
living or deceased.
Right. Hmm.
They do not discriminate.
No, we do not discriminate, and we're family friendly. And like I said, it's something that you can share with your family and friends. And we would love to have you join us. Again, I can't stress enough. I've been in the horror industry, whether it be a entertainer, cosplayer, model myself, and crossing over into this is just as I'm getting older, and I'm retiring my former model name, and I'm continuing to be a photographer. This is a great way for me to still stay involved and be relevant. Okay, we can say that, but we, I got you. But yeah, I love being a final girl, and like I said, I thought what I got a kick out of is I'm networking with all these people. I got to do a podcast and met Corpse here and Reese, and we've kind of connected, and we've got a connection there. But not only that, is just that I actually started watching, like I said, a series that had Tom Savini, and he talked about Final Girl. I'm like, wow, what are the odds that this just happens to be relevant in my life, and it just pops up like this? So I just urge others to get involved. It's a lot of fun.
And it's and the fact that Tom Savini of all people is bringing it up on just a chance interview means
Right,
that something rapidly booming. So,
right. Hmm.
and how long ago did this interview take place? Do you know?
It was an interview. He's actually in a Netflix series called Lock and Key. The very first season he's in, and the one of the kids talks about horror movies and final girls, and Tom Savini just happens to be in that series, and I just found it really, like I said, it was just wow, what are the odds, you know?
Well, I ask because if this is something recent, then now if you want, there is no real better time to get involved with this than now. It's like I said, this is launching off the ground. This is picking up speed. It's gaining traction.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a final girl, you know?
And
Just
and plus, just check out the t-shirts again.
right.
That's just cool.
I would like to make a suggestion though. I mean, we have final girls, but we can have final ghouls too.
Ooh,
Mm.
yeah.
Maybe, maybe,
Well,
maybe.
think about all horror films. I mean, a lot of final girls aren't actually girls at all. They're just guys that happen to get lucky, which is admittedly a lot more rare.
Oh,
It's actually
okay.
a lot more rare. Just like in real life, women outlive men.
That's because men do stupid things.
Exactly. Exactly my
Women
point.
are thinkers, and they think about it before they act. Men are just they're passionate, very definite passionate, but they go in all in, all in.
It is true.
So, what does being a final girl w- what does it mean to you, Corpse?
Well, as I said, yes, yes, that is another thing. Um, but for me, being a part of, are we talking about being a part of Final Girl or just the trope of Final Girl?
Both.
So the trope of Final Girl to me is one who is someone at the end of a horrifying ordeal who, by luck or by skill, manages to come out, well, alive. They
Hmm.
are the last survivor.
Hmm.
And as I said in the beginning, I really feel like this applies because in joining this movement, we are essentially helping indie horror stay alive as it
Hmm.
is preyed upon by the mainstream and the world as a whole, which has always seemed keen to either A, just completely wipe horror out of the media entirely, or arbitrage it, or if they allow it into the mainstream at all, they more or less try to dumb it down. Being a part of, being that this is an independent movement in the horror
Hmm.
community,
Hmm.
I feel like this is us escaping the uh, pussification of horror.
That was so eloquently put.
This is us telling the masses we will not be devoured by the beast of whitewashing and
Yeah.
completely doing away with it.
Well, it gives way to a lot of originality too, and back to basics.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
So that's what Final Girl means to me, but what about
Mhm.
you?
Um, I would say it definitely keeps me involved in the horror industry, which I love everything, and I like what people come up with. You have so many different people you're networking with, and it's not just the ones being models. It's also, like you said, the independent movies. I mean, the opportunities to be involved or get your name out, whether to be just a cameo logo or if it's actually being a part in the movie, or even just being a part of like the models. Sometimes we get a little competition going, and you have your model of the month, and I'm sure everybody's trying real hard, and those that make, like you said, if you're not, if you have one follower, maybe you don't have any followers, and maybe you don't even know what to do. They're kind of like a family, and well, we get together, we help lift each other up and continue to move towards what we love, everything horror.
Well, and we try to help push each other forward.
Mhm.
So, in other words, while we do, well, it can be competitive in a sense. It's not a
Mhm.
sense that there is no gatekeeping.
There's no one
That's
left behind.
no one left behind, and there is no gatekeeping.
Mm-mm.
If someone seems to not be doing so well, we extend a helping hand the best we can. Being a beacon to the
To the
dead.
dead. Nothing scares me, even scary movies. Hmm. Do you consider yourself a beacon?
No,
No.
no, not a
Mhm.
beacon. No, I've never considered a beacon in my line of work. Um, More like just someone who uses the written word as a way of communication with the
Mhm.
outside world, and when it comes to expressing what's actually in my blackened heart.
Well, I have to say, I'm quite impressed with your not just your blackened heart, but your ability and knowledge of all things horror. I've been quite impressed with um, your knowledge on certain things. So I I think I have to brush up a little more.
That tends to happen again when you are over 1,000 years old.
Oh, I know. We've talked about
You,
that
yes,
many times.
you tend to pick up a few things.
Mhm.
However, so with that out of the way, with what Final Girl means to us, tell us, Miss Psychotica,
Mhm.
how is it that one may be able to become a part of the Final Girl movement?
Very, very good question. I know that if you're fully interested in, you can go to, I believe, you can reach out to um, Anthony or Mandy, or go to www.scarenet. Dot,
Scared
yeah, yes,
scarezone.net.
yes. I don't have my readers on, so I can't see my own handwriting. I'm old, okay? My eyes are decrepit. But yes,
That's no excuse. Over a
well,
century old, and I still have great eyesight.
I need these to see clearer, okay? But yes, I mean, you just, I believe what I did is I reached out to Anthony and told him I was interested. And he sent me an email and asked me for an image and asked me if a few other questions in the email. I answered them. And before you know it, I had my final girl image, and Psychotica was born. And then I was part of the royalty series. And many people after me, many people before me, um, have continued things created, and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Laura.
Yes, I'm going with the Venom corpse look.
I think I did a look similar to this last weekend when I was at the Ohio Haunters Association. They had a costume ball, and I did kind of like a voodoo priestess with my husband, my voodoo priest guy, and he looked pretty good too. But
Say
how long?
you kind of went Papa Shango with it.
Yes, that's exactly what people say that he looks like, and I just kind of mimicked his. Um, how long have you been doing your makeup, Corpse?
So, okay, technically, I've done it since age 17. Um, and when I was first trying out looks that I wanted to go with, I first used Sharpie on my face.
That's
I
permanent.
did that. I I did that several times, and I mean it takes a lot of scrubbing. I'll grant you. Um,
But now they have, I mean, Sharpie does make a brand now that of makeup now that you can use. Tattoo
yeah.
pens.
Well, that's not what I've been using now. Now it's just standard. Now it's just standard corpse paint.
Right. Well, you did a good job.
Thank you.
I'm sure the tears of many souls had contributed to that look.
No, it's more like their screams just
Oh,
contained in my head, and now they're leaking out everywhere. All of their sins, their souls,
that's
just
so
leaking
poetic.
out.
Oh, and the final girls that surround you, they seem to survive, but they're very much enamored, I'm sure.
Their bodies may survive, but their minds and their hearts are forever mine.
Mm. And while you're at it, if you would love to support Corpse, use the word corpse code in checkout and get your 5% discount. There you go again. Look at that Final Girl shirt. Look how wonderful that is. Get yourself one of
Ooh.
these. And
Ooh.
cups.
Oh, and a mug.
I
Yeah, imagine
know.
drinking out of one of those every morning.
Could you imagine if it was like heat sensitive and it changed?
Oh, yeah. Or imagine it actually like somehow enhances the flavor of your coffee too.
Oh, yes, yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
this
I
is the one
love
I like.
that.
I like that. Yeah, that's the one I liked too. Yes, I like that one too.
See, this would be perfect to like go to a midnight showing of the latest horror. Ooh, I love that too.
Yeah,
Shit. Oh, I want one of those.
I know, right?
I want one of those so bad. And there's
Dorothy.
Queen Psychotica herself.
Yes. But could you imagine? I mean, if you join us, if you'd love to be a model, you could, I mean, you could have your very own shirt or coffee cup. Or let's not forget the teddy bears. I mean, those
Yes.
little things are so cute.
Yeah, and plus, come on, guys. How many of us have always said we want our own teddy bears or action figures? Teddy
Mhm.
bears are a close second.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Oh, seriously. I don't know if I'd be okay with that.
Uh, I mean, that tends to happen to me on a regular, but that's just because it's Belial. He likes to tease me about the 50 bones he still hasn't paid me back.
Hmm,
Bastard.
I know, right?
Last time I lent out bones like that, he
There's
even
the teddy bears.
jacked me out of a femur, too. Ooh.
Those are so stinking cute. Look at, can you imagine being a final girl and having your very own teddy bear with a t-shirt like this? You could gift
Oh,
it or
I
you could
love
just
that.
sleep with it.
Yeah. So for fans of the Corpse Child, you can now get your own teddy bear to sleep with at night.
Ooh.
Although I can't guarantee you it's going to protect you from the bad dreams. Oh no.
I don't know. You might be raising some future corpse children too. I mean, they might be turning, to the dark side themselves. Starts with the
No,
teddy bear.
no succubi have made me that lucky yet. However, maybe this would be a great Valentine's gift for any of you, uh, any of your lovers. Be a
Oh,
great
definitely. Or sweetest day. I mean, Halloween. Come
Oh
on
yeah.
now.
Yeah. Imagine getting that in a candy bucket. Just getting a final girl teddy bear.
Hmm. Definitely. Or even like I said, like you said, wearing. I mean, going to your favorite scary movie, wearing one of those shirts, and people are
Oh
gonna say,
yeah.
"Wow, where'd you get that? That's pretty cool." Um, or going to a horror con. I mean, whether you go to Horror Hound, Scarefest, or uh, Days of the Dead, you could be sporting one of those and getting a following. People are going to ask you about Final Girl. What's this all about?
Mm-hmm.
Get people involved. Please get involved. Tell them chaotic or Psychotica and well, that's going to be a hard habit to break. And Corb's here to that we sent you.
So, what sort of what sort of things do you mentioned being able to network
Hmm.
through this.
Hmm.
What sort of things have you personally felt like you've been able to network? Like, how have you been able to network through the Final Girl program?
Just getting again, making friends with all the other girls, and people involved, the guys. I've made friends with you and Reese and Mandy and Anthony, and now Brandy. And you start talking to these like-minded individuals, and making friends, and then before you know it, you're feeding off of each other for ideas, whether it be about your next idea for Final Girl, or being involved in any of the movies that are upcoming.
Yeah, let's talk about those real quick.
Mhm.
Were so I believe you were involved in one of Forever Entertainment's upcoming projects, the Flower City Butcher. Am I correct?
I wasn't involved in it. That's where I started. I did, however, when it became for the movie Thief, and I put my logo in the movie for my photography. So when you know how you can get your logos involved, or you can have, like, in the movie they'll have like wanted posters or something like that. Your image could be put on the posters in the movie. So you get those little shout outs in the movie.
And all of these can also be purchased at scarezone.net
Correct.
using either codes Corpse or Chrissy for
Correct. Correct.
5% off.
Mhm.
And these are other ways you can get involved with indie horror films. Once
Mhm.
again, helping indie horror survive the onslaught of
Mhm.
mainstream media.
Mhm. And there's always more opportunities. I mean, once one comes to completion and everything comes to fruition, moving on to a next, and everybody that's gotten involved and networked. And there are a lot of times that, even when shooting, um, people get together and get a place together to rent while filming. It's just networking that way. You know, it's a lot of fun. You work with these people, you make movies with these people, and you continue.
Yeah. Um it also affords you can also through this be able to network to be on on any one of the podcasts
Mhm,
like
mhm,
Viral Venom, Spill
mhm,
the Reels, or
mhm,
the one I co-host, The Horror Lens.
mhm, mhm.
So there's more and more opportunities to be able to get you and or whatever brand or organization you're a part of out
Or even
there.
when whatever support that you're able to do, even if it's just popping in on a podcast and talking about all things horror, and trying not to be not try not to be bad.
Well, there's no promises of that all the time, but
This is family oriented, we got to be, even when I work a horror con, there are children, and we all know that in horror movies there's some sort of language, there's nudity, there's suggestive behaviors. When there's children around, you have to tone it down and learn how to, you know keep the family involved, but without overdoing it.
right. Right. So just a personal question.
Mhm.
Um what has been your favorite design of Final Girl?
My favorite design, I actually love the new glow up one. I really, really do. I mean, the royalty one is where I got started, and I thought that was pretty badass.
It
But
is.
I really like this new one that's out. And sometimes you just got to work a little harder to get involved in new images.
Well, and like I said, the other Final Girl models, like myself, Lorelei Sands, who, by the way, is now Art the Clown in the upcoming movie Thief. Um, we always we always try to more or less kind of jump at the chance to get involved and lend a helping hand to anybody may be struggling.
Right.
Uh, which is kind of why we're both here today. We
Right.
decided to
Right.
try and help each other and just sort of come out together
Yeah.
uh, to talk to you all and
Yeah.
get you all involved as possible.
Hmm.
But
And
more or
there's no
less,
limit to it. There's no limit to it. And sometimes there'll be days where you feel like you're, not able to post. That's okay. Nothing's going to be held against you at all. It just sometimes when you get the word out, it does take a simple post and telling people why you're doing it. You're doing it because you love all things horror. You're doing it because it makes you feel good. You like being with the family that you're with, and you want to continue to grow. And you can only continue to grow and grow.
yeah. And as she said, there's no penalties
Mhm.
if you're not doing so well. So this is not oh, you have to sell this many or we're
Right.
booting your ass out
Right.
because you're a liability. No, there's
No,
nothing
no,
like
no.
that.
And I know there's a
If
lot of people that do fear that because sometimes um, you may not have a good, fan base. But again, it's all about networking. You're networking with everybody, and you're in the same pool as everybody else. So you're only good as the person next to you. So we can't grow if you don't. So we help you out, and you help us.
right. And again, this is you can use either of these codes
Hmm.
on anything on scarezone.net.
Hmm.
So, say you may not want to get any of the Final Girl merchandise, although personally I can't tell why you wouldn't. I
Right?
mean, have you seen these fucking designs?
I know, right?
But sorry about that. Have you seen these designs? Like, I love them. Yeah, that. Come on. Come on. Imagine you're rolling up to the bar or to your buddy's house and you're wearing that, and your buddy's gonna look at you and be like, "Yo, where'd you get the shirt? How much did it run you?" And you can be
Right?
like, "Oh yeah, yeah. I picked it up at scarezone.net and I
Yeah.
was able to get 5% off an already steal price."
I know, right? And you're supporting other artists. You're supporting the horror industry by using the codes of all those involved. And a perk is you're earning a commission.
But not only that, even if, again, for whatever reason, you decide you don't want any of that, you can also use any of the codes, Corpse or Chrissy. You can use those on any of the perks available. So, say you wanted to get involved in any of the upcoming film projects from
Hmm.
Forever Entertainment,
Hmm.
it applies.
Yep.
And you can get
Hmm.
5% off
Hmm.
and make it even easier for yourself to either land yourself a role in the film, or if you're looking for to be able to jam product placement in there for any of your organizations or
Hmm.
whatever it is you
Hmm.
do,
Hmm.
you're able to do that. You're able to do that and get it, have the price slashed off even more than any one of
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees' victims. And yes, among these perks, by the way, for the films, I know I mentioned product placement and roles, but you can also get involved. You'll also be able to have your name listed as
Hmm.
an executive producer
Hmm.
or an assistant producer.
Hmm.
So your name will, you basically get to take credit saying, hey,
Hmm.
I helped put this into the
Yep.
world.
Yep.
Um, which to me is pretty cool.
Yeah. They can
And you
save a ton of money on producer credits and acting roles by using our discount codes, Corpse and Psychotic or Chrissy. Good
and
Lord.
the
I don't know
best
who
thing
I am.
about that is you will be listed on IMDb. So
Mhm,
you can then say, yeah, I have an acting credit on to my
mhm,
name,
mhm,
which again, aside from rocking some really kick-ass merch, you can also tell your buddies that you are an actor and or film producer.
mhm,
So, and I keep mentioning, I harp on that to say that once again, through just using these codes, you're essentially already kickstarting a
mhm,
burgeoning film career of
mhm.
sorts.
Right.
So, and you did it without having to attend any kind of acting classes or business classes or
Mhm.
any of that nonsense. You're able to just by
Network with all these people and all these opportunities.
network and again just by throwing a little bit of money and using our codes,
Mhm, mhm,
you are now breaking out into the world of indie horror,
mhm,
which as an indie horror author myself who has spent 6 years in the community of indie horror literature, I can comfortably say that indie horror as a whole is making huge waves within the world, within the media itself.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
and it won't be long before indie horror more or less just overtakes the mainstream
Yeah,
uh at just entirely. I mean, look at the Terrifier films.
yeah, right.
That's purely indie.
Exactly. 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 That's a very good example. It's going to continue to flourish. It's going to continue to grow, and it's definitely a movement. Again, you love all things horror, and being involved. This is a way to be involved. Corp said, if you don't want to be a model, that's okay. If you just want to be involved and have product placement, uh, even your photo or your name, whatever it is, it's highly possible, and it's just cool. Gives you some cool bragging rights too. I mean, who wouldn't say, yeah, I was a part of that?
Yeah. Yeah, especially if and when it takes off.
Hmm.
Like imagine you're able to say that you got to take part in something that goes viral more or less.
Hmm.
And
It
then
only takes a few things for the underground masses to get their teeth into it, and then it just takes off. It just takes off from there.
it's just got to reach the right
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
or persons.
Hmm. And
So
so come on, come play with us. What do you have to lose?
come join us.
Join the dark side. We have cookies.
Join us all in the end.
Hmm. So, are there any final thoughts or anything that you would love to add to our conversation other than the wonderful merchandise at www.scarezone.net? Hmm.
Well, I suppose now would be as good a time as any to ask where where can we find you, Miss Psychotica?
Where can you find me? Well, um, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. I am under my current model name as Chaotica. I will be retiring Chaotica and then starting more of this Psychotica. So I'm kind of like putting one to bed and starting another. But you can find me on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. I'm a cosplayer and I love going to horror cons. So that's where you can find me and all my goodness. I'm also a photographer. It's called Always Photography, and I specialize in horror photography. I also edit podcasts as well. So I have many little tricks up my sleeve. So I do stay busy.
Very nice. Are there any upcoming events for you?
I will be attending here June 5th, 6th, and 7th to iHeart Gore Fest at Put-in Bay, Ohio. It is a horror con meets vacation. We have celebrities, we have a burlesque show, and we have a costume contest. We have a bar crawl and it starts out at our VIP pirate bar ship, starts out there, and we just kind of take over the island, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be one of my last events as Chaotica, so it's going to be both fun and kind of like sad for me because I'm putting her to rest.
She'll join me on the other
Yes,
side.
she'll join. Yes, she will be joining you, and she'll be getting other opportunities as a photographer and my adventures through Final Girl. So I'm kind of like a rebirth, if you will.
Yes.
Where
Of course,
I would rise from the ashes.
and of course, you may find me here on Facebook at Thomas Stewart or at my page Corpse Child Sanctuary, or you can also join my author group or my reader group, Children of the Underdark. You can find me on Instagram at Corpse Child Sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
and on TikTok you'll find me at Unholy Corpse Child.
Mm-hmm.
However, of course, if you really want to show your devotion to me, my beloved maggots and larvae, you can go to www.corpsechildsanctuary.com. You can sign your soul to receive my newsletter for any and all updates occurring here in the Underdark. And of course, please be sure to visit the Citadel, where you can find all of my signed paperbacks available for sale. And of course, only through there will you find my paperbacks signed. Can't get those at Amazon. However, what you can get at Amazon right now is the pre-order for my upcoming re-release, Skin That Screams, a short story collection that I wrote and published purely as a testament to my own recovery from anorexia and bulimia nervosa. And I only add that in there because just to emphasize that this particular book does hold a personal weight with
Mm-hmm.
me. Because it was because of those conditions that I first adopted the name Corpse Child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
And of
thank you for
course,
sharing.
you can also always find me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on the Horror Lens. And you can find the both of us by going to scarezone.net using promo codes Chrissy and Corpse for 5% off any and all Final Girl merchandise or perks available for sale from Forever Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Look at all those
Look
beautiful
at all those
designs.
peruse. Yes, peruse.
I seriously want that Final Girl hat.
I would like it on a beanie.
That could be interesting too, actually. Yes.
Ooh, beanies. Beanies. Oh,
Ah, yes, Bloody Shores and Other Nautical Nightmares, and there's the upcoming book.
very nice. Congratulations. And please, if you want to join us, please join us. The more the merrier, more models, more opportunities, and we can just grow and glow together and just check out all our good things that we got going on, whether it be the Horror Lens, all our other podcasts.
Just
You have nothing to lose.
if at any point you want to anyone who wants to sign up, either you can, I'm pretty sure you're able to sign up through scarezone.net, or if you can't seem to find it, or just for some reason aren't willing to go that route, you
Just message
be
somebody.
sure,
Message one of us.
message one of us, message Anthony Caimano himself,
Mhm.
and he will hook you right up.
Yep.
That's how I got involved with
That's
Forever
how I got
Entertainment.
involved. I messaged him directly.
I just reached out and said, "Yeah, I want to be a part of this,"
Mhm.
and he said, "Okay." Wonder if he regrets that now, though.
You know, I'm pretty sure Mr. Donovan and him are wondering what the hell they got into when they had the three of us. We're the gift
Yeah,
that keeps on giving.
yeah. Well, we all know you still have a vendetta with Mr. Donan.
Yes. But I'm sure that'll work out in the wash.
Hopefully.
Some sort of way. Even if it's, bludgeoning or, trying to stay on the good family version of things. But yeah, we will we'll stay in the good graces for now.
Just send him down to me.
Oh, more than gladly. And again, use Corpse and Chrissy. Get your 5% off. You don't want to miss out. It's just so much fun. I mean, and right now, me and Corpse are trying to be, grow this because we want people to be involved. But we like hanging out. We like doing these kinds of things. And it's not just, these moments. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scene moments that y'all don't know about. That is like the icing on the cake. And it is all the internet works that we do, the conversations we have, whether it be wishing happy birthdays or, just, sharing family moments or, good things that happen in your life, or even supporting when there's bad times in your, it's a phenomenal way to be involved with Final Girl.
And no better time. And as Mr. Caimano says, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Support your favorite Final Girl models today at scarezone.net.
Definitely.
And until next time, sweet nightmares.